Hi, I'm Mark. This is my April review for Libra Sun sign and Libra rising. We start the month with the Sun in your opposite sign, Aries, and in the 7th house. So there's a strong concentration of energy around working well with other people. The Sun makes a positive aspect on the 1st to Saturn. So this means you can work well with authority figures and get along with them really good, and you could get noticed by them as well. The other benefit of this aspect is that you can develop your own leadership skills. Then the other aspect on that day the Sun makes to the North Node. This is a positive aspect, North Node, in your 9th house. And the 9th house is about growth. This is a good time to achieve and grow as a person. Then on the 2nd there's a positive aspect between Mercury and Pluto. Mercury's in your 6th house, Pluto's in the 4th house. So now this is a time you might want to uncover things. This is a time you want to dig deep and look at things very closely and perhaps get the truth about things. This could be around the home area, or this could be at work or in your daily life. On the 3rd, Saturn makes a positive aspect to the North Node. Now this can be very beneficial. This lasts for 2 weeks. There's time to work with this energy. This is very good for putting a plan together for self-development. It's good for structured growth. Now it could be that your learning and the things you learn will be very important and will be part of your destiny. But also it could be the fact that you're teaching other people, maybe teaching children, and this can be very beneficial not only to them but to you as well. Now the other thing this is good for is for the easing and the lifting of restrictions. So this is very good because we've been under a lot of limitations over the last year, so these will now start to ease with this aspect. Then on the 4th we have a fun aspect between Venus and Mars. Venus in your 7th house, so this can be very beneficial. This is good for love, but it also means you could find yourself better off through someone else. Money or goods could be coming in through another person. The Mars in the 9th house is also good for growth, so this is becoming a bit of a theme this month, as personal growth is on its way. On the 6th, the Sun makes a conjunction with Ceres. This is in your 7th house. Ceres is a planetoid between Mars and Jupiter and rules the nurturing process. So it's a good time now to balance the nurturing between you and your partner and you and your loved ones. Make sure that you're not the one that does all the nurturing, or you're not the one that takes all the nurturing. Get things in balance. It's also good to bring out any creative projects into the open. Then on the 8th, there's a difficult aspect between Mars and Neptune. Neptune's in your 6th house, so just be careful now that old habits don't creep back in from the past. Also, Neptune puts a fog around things, so things may not be as clear and run as smoothly as possible. Your daily routines may be affected, and your Mars vitality and energy isn't going to be what it should be. So we've got 4 days where you might just need to calm things down and don't do anything too physical. On the 9th, Mercury conjuncts Chiron in your 7th house, so it's a good day to look at difficulties or imbalances within relationships and perhaps start a healing process for that. On the 10th, you'll be able to see what needs doing because Mercury makes an aspect to Saturn and to the Moon's North Node, so you'll be able to see and know what needs doing to take things forward in the future. Also on that day, it's good for having some fun. Venus is in your 7th house, makes a positive aspect to Jupiter in the 5th house. This is good for relationships. It's also good for finances as well, through a partner or through a family member. And it's also very good for building and starting new relationships. And relationships you start under this influence would certainly benefit you in the future. On the 11th, the Sun makes a positive aspect to Mars, and this will last for 6 days. So this is a period of high energy and time you can tune in this energy and really achieve things. And also learn things, because Mars is in that 9th house. So it's an opportunity to grow, to learn and grow. With the Sun in the 7th, it's great to work with others, perhaps in a team effort. Also on that day, Venus makes a square to Pluto, so there could be some high energy going around that's very emotionally charged. So be aware you don't get involved in any power struggles, and don't try to control people. The 7th house in relationships is very highly featured this month, and no exception on the 12th when we have a new moon. The new moon is in your 7th, but it's also in Aries, so this is the moon of initiation, of getting the ball rolling, of putting things into action and taking power. It's very favourable as well for in the 7th house for negotiations and diplomacy. And being a Libra, you're very good at diplomacy, so this shouldn't come hard to you. It's good to foster new relationships under this new moon because they'll be very beneficial for you in the future. And also to look at existing relationships, see how the support network is. Are you offering enough support? Are you receiving enough support? These are things that you need to also get in balance under this new moon. Then 2 days later, there is a fantastic aspect between the Sun and Jupiter. This is very favourable for just about anything. It's in your 5th house, so creativity is highlighted here, and the 7th house is others, so working with others on a creative project would be fantastic at this time. It's also favourable for finances, and it's very good for just being in the right place at the right time. There's a great opportunity for growth and development on the 15th, when Mars makes a positive aspect to Jupiter in your house of creativity. This lasts for 5 days, so it would be good to tap into this energy and use it wisely. This is good for any form of development, any form of growth. It's also good for developing your beliefs or your belief system, and it's also good for working with children, helping children. It's a very fortunate aspect, so make the most of that one. On the 16th, it's a note of caution. There's a square between the Sun and Pluto, so there may be things that you just need to fix, or maybe some changes that you need to make to your plan on the way. It's also in the 4th house, Pluto, so there could be some disruptions or some things that need fixing at home. On the 17th, it's a really busy day because Mercury plugs into that aspect we were just talking about, and aspects both Mars and Jupiter. So this adds mercurial feel to the day. There's lots of talking, discussions, there's lots of thoughts bouncing around, so this can help to get things moving in the right direction. Then on the 18th, it's not so good because Mercury, although he makes an aspect to the Sun, which is great, they are both at 29 degrees of Aries, and the planet at 29 degrees is greatly weakened and doesn't function as normal. They just want to get into the next sign. So it's a day when things will be a little bit more low-key, and don't push things on that day, just relax back a bit. On the 20th, the Sun and Mercury follow Venus into Taurus, and now they're fully immersed in the sign, and also they are in your 8th house. Now there'll be some changes coming up because we have Uranus sitting in Taurus and has been fairly quiet recently, but now is direct in motion and is going to be conjunct by Venus, Mercury and then the Sun. So there's some changes coming up in the next week. Firstly, on the 22nd it's Venus, and there will be changes in relationships. There could be new people that you meet, and these people could be very beneficial. Also, you could have a pleasant surprise with finances, as the 8th house is the house of shared resources. Now, if there's any difficulties, if there's any sudden events that force change, it's because you're not on the right track, and you need to accept these, be flexible and go with the flow. On the 24th, Mercury makes the same conjunction, and your mind will be buzzing, be full of new ideas, great new experiences, and it's good to try new things. If there are any difficulties again, it's because you're not on track and you need to make the adjustments. Also on the 24th, Chiron, the healing planet, makes a positive aspect to the moon's nodes. Now Chiron will activate both ends of the nodes. And this will bring out important issues that are critical to us moving forward. And this probably relates to the pandemic, where over the last year we've had limitations, restrictions, we've had a lot of hurts, A lot of wounds have been created by what's happened, and collectively we have to overcome this now, accept it and overcome it so that we can move forward. Personally, we also have a lot of hurts that we need to heal. Chiron for you is in your 7th house, so there could be issues that have come up from through relationships over the past year that we need to heal to move forward. And the North Node is in your 9th house. This is the house of beliefs and of growth and development. So there's alterations to your beliefs that have to be accepted now so that you can move on and develop in the future. On the 25th, Venus and Mercury come together, and this would normally be a great day, but unfortunately they both make a square to Saturn, so there's going to be a little bit more responsibility, a bit more duty to spoil the fun day that these two normally have. Then on the 27th there's a full moon. Full moon's in Scorpio, so it's about truth and transformation, and it's in your 2nd house, house of finances and possessions, also self-worth. So now we need to look at things like giving and receiving, and about the value we put on things. Also about sharing, where you have to look at your own needs with the 2nd house, but also be considerate of other people's needs. On the 29th, there's quite an intense day because Mercury makes a conjunction with the Black Moon Lilith. On this day you could talk about taboo subjects quite easily when you wouldn't normally be open to this. But just be careful what you say, because things can be taken the wrong way, or you can say things without thinking. Then on the 30th, the Sun makes the 3rd and final conjunction to Uranus, so this could be a very exciting day again. It's a good day to try new things, exciting things. There'll be a lot of electricity, excitement in the air. Just be wary that if any events happen that force you to change, then you've not been on the right path. If you're on the right path, it will pass smoothly, and there'll be some great new ideas and adventures coming your way. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. If you'd like to leave me a comment, I'll be glad to hear from you.